Welcome to More Than Music. I'm Kyle Cassim, South African DJ and radio host. Every second week, join me on my YouTube and Instagram as we get real with your favorite South African personalities, the untold stories, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. This is More Than Music, brought to you by Wheelie. Yo, what's happening, guys? It's Kyle Cassim here, and today is episode 1 of my brand new podcast, More Than Music. I'm going to be taking a deeper dive into the look of all the coolest people in South Africa. Today, I welcome my very first guest. This man was the first guest on my ever online radio show, the first guest on the Kyle Cassim show on 5FM, and the very first guest on my cooking show, Cassim's Kitchen, for the 4th consecutive time, ladies and gentlemen. Ricardo Da Costa. He is a house music legend. He is a dad. He is one of the curators of the biggest festivals in South Africa. He owns restaurants, record labels, and he is it. We call him the pioneer, and today we're going to take some time to chat to you and find out what's going on inside of you, what makes you tick, and really get that essence of Ricardo Da Costa. We're excited to have you, bro. Thank you.
I'm honored. Fourth time. You're consistent.
It's cool, though.
No, it's
like,
super cool. I'm on it.
That's really cool, though. Like 4 shows in a row, first guest.
When you invited me and you reflected on that, I didn't really think of it in that way, but we've come a long way from a little production studio in Orange Grove, where my ass couldn't even fit on the seats, for us to put our asses in some nice cars.
We're going to be driving, so we're out here at Wheelie. They've been so cool to give us cars to drive in. So there's over 1,000 cars here, which means Ricardo gets to choose whichever car he wants to drive in. We're going to take a drive, we're going to talk, we're going to chat, and really find out more about the legend himself, Ricardo Da Costa. Let's go.
Got a lot of options here.
Take your pick. Take your pick, whatever you want.
Look, when you come into contact with a Porsche as your first car, I think that's a sign.
As we walked in, this was here, and
I appreciate what's going on here, but
I mean, there's a lot of cars. We could walk around.
Sure. Look, we might run into some Fiat Unos, and let's go with it.
We want the Porsche.
This is a Porsche. Let's go with the Porsche.
As we arrived, I saw him lock his eyes on, and I kind of did too. So we're gonna jump in this beautiful white Porsche and take a drive around Joburg. If you see us, give us a honk, and soon enough, you'll find out more about Ricardo Da Costa. The keys to my heart. Thank you, brother. Right. Sweet. Alrighty, episode 1, More Than Music, my brand new podcast. Welcome, guys. My very first guest, Ricardo Da Costa. It's good to have you.
What's up, babe?
Driving around Joburg. I mean, this is quite fun.
This is fun.
Instead of sitting in a studio, I like it.
Oh, it's way better than a studio, man.
We get to see Joburg, people get to honk at us, and we get to just chat. There's no lights, there's no one staring at us. We can say some crazy things. No one will ever know.
We can talk about all the things that we usually talk about on a little road trip.
Maybe not right now.
I remember our trip to Mozambique was quite adventurous. We played for House of Cassim. I mean, I don't know if it was
wild.
Then.
When we stayed in that hotel, and we didn't shower because the showers were so dirty. Oh my!
And when we all got fines for having our elbows stuck outside the window when we were pubbing, and
they stopped us
45 degrees, and no, sorry, we need to fine you because your elbows were outside the window.
Outside, that was just looking for money. No, we've had some wild stories, and I think we might tap into a couple of those today.
We've got some lyrics, parental advice.
Yes, we give that. There should be 2 parts of this podcast: the under 18 and the over 18, and the one for the dark web.
Yeah.
How are you though? It's good to see you.
I'm good. I'm really good. I'll see you. Yeah, like you were saying, we got to do a podcast to see each other. Life's busy, man.
Life is crazy,
but life is good.
Life is good. I'm happy to hear that. How's the family?
Family is fantastic. The boys turned 8 years old 2 weeks ago. 8.
Eight.
8.
Like it's wild to think like it was. Oh no, how is that 8 years?
No, it's you know, there's so many cliches about, like, you know, life's too short, like being a parent. Things. I mean, I guess it's even like when you get a puppy. We've just gotten a puppy too, and
What dog did you get?
a boxer.
A boxer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's high energy.
High energy, and I mean, it's 9 weeks old, but I'm saying, like, we got it at 8 weeks, and even a week. So with kids, it's the same thing. It's, you know, things go by so quickly. So I really just try take a moment to, you know, to take it all in and smell the roses, you know?
It's really like times of the essence these days. I read this quote. Actually, Gareth Devore posted it on his Instagram, and it was like, you know, back in the day, being wealthy meant like having a million houses and a million cars. But these days, like being wealthy means having time with your family and just enjoying life.
You know, like, I was thinking about something the other day, which was quite interesting, and I had like a little smirk to myself. Like, we come from an industry that's very ego-centric and almost like an individual sport, in the sense that, like, all the promoters are kind of like out for themselves.
Yeah.
But if I look at the last 20 years and I see, like, all the different prominent promoters, you know, at one stage or another there was tense rivalry.
You weren't allowed to speak to that guy. You get blocked from that club.
No, DJs couldn't play, whatever, and it was intentional, and it was a bit uncomfortable. And I mean, you know, for myself, who's, you know, sits on both sides of the fence, you know, I obviously have been a lot more understanding of certain decisions that are made and whatever. But the common denominator for everyone coming together and actually rationally working through things, amicably working through things, and respectfully working through things is kids.
Wow.
Kids is like, if I think, I mean, I'm not going to mention names, but whoever you can think of that's a prominent promoter, that's a parent, that has either had a child recently or has had it, like, there's a maturity and a humility that comes with having kids that just makes navigating a very egocentric industry just, you know, there's a lot more reason. You're a lot more open to hear different perspectives, and I feel that it's made the industry better. Like, if I were to say, I mean, I've had people, you know, guys that I'm a bit more closer with, like, if they haven't had kids yet, I'm like, dude,
It's coming.
you know, like, it will change your life in the most beautiful way. Besides the personal stuff in business, it has such a profound impact on your professionalism, your mental state in dealing with problem solving, that is unlike anything. Like, there's no other thing in life that can make that sort of impact. I love it. And I love how the industries come together and we talk more. You know, we're competitors, but, you know, we can be competitors, but you can also wish that they win too.
I love that.
And I think that's what's changed, because there was, for a long time, if an event got rained out from one of the other promoters, like, you'd be like, yeah, that fucking, you know, I mean, that
one's going to be better.
like, that will teach you for going a week before me, or whatever it is. But it's like, we're so much more understanding of the risks involved in what we do. And I truly, truly believe that, you know, becoming parents, having kids has brought just a different mindset to everyone. And I speak for myself, but I see it in other people.
Yeah, too.
And I see how everyone is kind of like working together, and we can still compete. We are still going to battle to, you know, book the next big international artist and whatever it is, but you can also be happy for them too. And I think that's happening more and more in our industry.
So before, your ego was at stake. Now it's families are at stake, because now you're not building festivals and companies to fuel your ego and for your own personal growth. Now it's, you want families to grow, and it's a legacy for your kids.
Totally. And like, I mean, it's, I don't think the ego is ever going to go away. I think you need ego to survive in this game, but you can do it in a honorable way that just allows you to interact with one another in a different sort of frequency. And I am loving where things are at. I love that we, all the promoters push each other to do better. And like it, I think the scene is in a really good place.
Love that.
Yeah.
So most people actually know you. Festival organizer, you're behind H2O, Spring Fiesta, and there's hundreds other that you curate behind the scenes. But most people attach you to the H2O and Spring Fiesta brand. You're one of the lead minds behind Soul Candy over the past, how many years has it been?
25 years.
25 years of Soul Candy, and it's the most beloved record label in South Africa. And now you are one of the biggest restaurateurs in South Africa. How did you go? I mean, we all know you as a DJ, the pioneer of tech house in South Africa, Soul Candy, H2O, and now you run restaurants. When did that happen?
It's a good question because I often get asked, like, from dance floor to kitchens, like,
it's crazy. It's two different things.
Yeah, but the parallels are more obvious than you think. So, I mean, growing up and students and whatever, I was a waiter. So I got a taste of hospitality from that perspective. Ironically, Mark Stent used to own a coffee shop called Wiesenhof in Pretoria.
I did not know that.
I swear to God.
The world's strongest coffee.
So Kobus Visa, I think, would stand behind it, himself. Yeah, so I was the senior waiter at his coffee shop and manager at a few other places. So I got a taste of hospitality.
What year was this?
Oh, I'm talking, I'm not sure, but it was about 22 years ago.
Okay.
And I didn't think I would ever, I never daydreamed about owning a restaurant. Just like, ironically, I never daydreamed about owning a nightclub, because being in the industry, you understand how difficult, that game. To own a nightclub, if you successfully run and maintain a nightclub, that is one of the hardest businesses to own. And similarly with a restaurant, there's certainly a lot easier ways to make money. But, I was drawn to the restaurant game, incidentally, by my late partner, Damien Michael.
Yes.
Who was a mate. My wife used to work for him, and we socialized, and he had owned a couple of restaurants, My Bar, My Grill in Four Ways, which was the most notable one. And he said to me, he said, look, there's something that's going up in Bedford View. Let's go have a look and maybe we can do something.
Okay.
I honestly was a bit confused as to what he wanted to do, because I knew that I never wanted to open a nightclub. And with my background, I thought, geez, the only thing he would want to do with me is a nightclub, because that's where my superpowers were,
Yes.
And he took me to the space in Bedford View, which was an office park that was being built. And we put on our hard hats and we walked up the fire escape. And it was about 3:30 in the afternoon, and the sun was coming down behind the Joburg skyline. And there was just this picturesque sort of view of the landscape over Johannesburg. And I fell in love with the space. And I was just like, I just said to him, I'm like, what do you want to do here? Like, because you can never do a nightclub up here. He goes, I don't want to open up a nightclub, but I want to bring your world and my world together.
Okay.
And that sounds like a simple equation, but the cohesion within that was magical. It was like, okay, bring a bit of entertainment to create the vibe, and then have a strong culinary sort of component to it. So you bring those two worlds together, you've got a great recipe, right? And in half an hour, we determined exactly what we're going to be and what the strategy was. And, that was the birth of the Ivy, which, is still my restaurant today.
I want to say that's 2018?
2017.
2017. Okay, that's close.
Yeah.
I still remember coming and doing a menu tasting with myself and Danny.
Yes, you were, if not the first, one of the first. Sorry, I wanted to lead with the first because, I've been the first with all your... I was the first to taste with the message, so let's go with that. You were the first to come do a tasting, and I think you gave me your approval. But that process of learning hospitality, at least from that side of the fence, and bringing in my expertise from a marketing, design and programming perspective, really made me fall in love with the world of hospitality. And what's interesting is the similarities between having a restaurant and throwing an event is insanely different. Like, maybe an event is not always on, but the responsibility of hosting people, and bringing that hospitality through whatever you do is the clear synergy between the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your history in festivals, clubs, and even the record label, you took that with you and brought it into new light.
Totally. And it helped me. It helped me because the things that I needed to learn, setting up of a kitchen, recipes, those kind of things.
And you cook yourself?
I could cook a few dishes.
If you were to cook me something today, what would it be? You really want to impress me for being my fourth consecutive guest on Kyle Cassim shows, what would it be?
Paella.
Paella.
Paella. I can cook a mean paella. And whether it's seafood or chicken and chorizo, it's my favorite food.
Okay.
And it's the one thing that I put myself in an uncomfortable position to become comfortable. And I can cook a mean paella.
What is the secret to a mean paella?
I would say the duration of the cook. I think you've got to get a sort of toasted layer underneath the rice. So you've got to cook it for it's about a 90-minute to 2-hour process, depending if you're doing chicken or seafood,
okay,
or even meat. I mean, there's different varieties, but it's the duration, the stock. It's saffron, which is an interesting ingredient that is, for those who don't know, it's a little flaky, stringy sort of spice.
I know it from curry.
Yeah. So it adds color, but an interesting flavor to you. So that is a key component.
Saffron.
And yeah, I mean, it's if you can get that toasted layer without burning the rice, you've mastered the art of cooking paella.
Okay, well, we're going to get you to cook for us one of these days. Family function with all the DJs.
The pressures on.
Ricardo's paella. Now, back to the restaurants. I mean, this is really crazy. You started out as a DJ. Was it record label first or DJ first?
DJing first.
Okay.
And again, just completely out of love for music. Obsession with music. Obsession with, the latest and greatest music. My parents got divorced at a really young age, so I was exposed to nightlife a lot younger than most, and I physically matured a lot sooner than most. I think my Portuguese heritage, and with a moustache a little sooner. That's about all attributes. So I always acted and looked older than I was, and with my parents being divorced, they started to socialize and go to nightclubs, and I'd go with them.
Oh, wow.
And that just further amplified my my hunger to dive deeper into that space. Now, at the time, you would get access to new music that wasn't out. Like the DJs that were in the clubs would do these mixtapes, and they were recorded live. So in that era, all the DJs spoke over the music, and the transitions weren't really that of a purist.
And it had the echo on.
Yeah, it was a bit messy, but the music is what drew me. Before the artistic aspect of turntablism.
Yes.
And I just went down every rabbit hole that I could to figure out how I was going to progress my knowledge within music and figure out who was going to teach me how to DJ. So there were a few mobile DJs that had turntables that I kind of like became affiliated to, but...
Is this late 90s, early 2000s?
Sure. Late 90s.
Okay.
And I got a job as a watch salesman at Edgar's in East Rand Mall, and I remember I was 15 years old, and I shared the role with the guy Ian Alden, who was in primary school with me, and he was working there. Was about 3 or 4 years older than me, so he had already left primary school. And yeah, like I was like, wow, our paths cross again. And he's like, yeah, so what have you been up to? And he's like, yeah, besides selling watches, he's been DJing for the last 4 years. Wow, Jesus, like, if I had to put money on it, I don't think that you would be, this guy, like a very unassuming, quite quiet, but he was in the underground scene. He was playing like house music from Chicago and New York. And he invited me over to his house just to mess around, and he would show me the basics. And I would spend every single spare time, or wherever he would have me, so that I wasn't imposing, I would be at his house learning on belt-driven turntables, which used to be on hi-fis. And I had this like round pitch control.
Yeah.
Just belt-driven. I would learn how to DJ on those turntables, which was not easy. I mean, the industry standard back then was still SL 1200s. But he didn't have that. So, I was fortunate to learn on the most difficult and gradually progressed my skill to kind of convert into SLs and that. And his brother, who's younger than me, Kevin Alden, he had already been DJing for 2 years. So, wherever Ian couldn't spend time with me, Kevin would. And I was just really spoiled between the two of them. They really opened up their house, their rooms and their records to my kind of journey of learning how to become a DJ.
Wow. So late 90s, then started DJing. When did the record label start?
So I had a stint in working in record stores, from Mental Groove to retro music to eventually Soul Candy. But my transition into running a record label was when I joined the Soul Candy family, which was in 2006. And my role was to be the MD of the record label, and to still be involved within the A&R and ordering of records, because back then records were still a thing. And
we're talking vinyls, though.
Vinyls, yeah. And Soul Candy at the time was the biggest record label in the country, record shop. Eventually became the biggest independent record label in the country, focusing purely on house music and dance music. So it was a massive responsibility, one that, had many milestones that I'm super proud of.
You guys signed some of the biggest records that are still being played today.
No, it's incredible to to look in the rearview mirror and to think, wow, this is part of our legacy. They're picking up these great records from some of the most talented artists in South Africa is it's a great feeling. It's like it's a eureka, pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that you find every time you sign a hit record. And we again. The key to our success was the obsession for wanting to find and release the best music out there.
The next big track.
And that's a mindset of a record label. I mean, what is the business model of a record label? Yes, it's to release music, but it's to find and discover the best talent out there.
I mean, 20, 30 years from now, your kids are going to be grown up. I think those songs are going to be classics forever in South African history with music. They'll be played. What tracks come to your mind to say you're going to be sitting down in your rocking chair? I don't know how old you're going to be. Your kids are going to be there with their wives and their kids, and you're going to hear a track and say, your daddy signed this in 2006. What track comes to mind?
Sure. Do you know that I've licensed, I don't know, probably 5,000 songs more, local and international. But I'll tell you one particular artist that I'm really proud of that we discovered was DJ Clock.
Okay.
If you meet DJ Clock, he's a very shy.
Never met him, by the way.
Never?
Never met him.
Wow. Like, he a very unassuming, shy individual, especially the time that we discovered him. And I mean, he had been making his rounds, and DJ started to pick up on who this guy was. But we picked up his first album, and it's sold over 100,000 copies. And he. Till today, I still maintain that, he is a hit machine. Whatever he puts his mind to, he will, from a South African context, he's a hit maker, man. He's like what you would classify as a David Guetta on a global standpoint. Like from a South African lens perspective, it's like he will just churn out hits. Similar to Kent. Kent was part of our stable. We had a relationship with his record label, 88 Productions. But we collaborated on a lot of albums. But one song.
Waiting for that track. What is that track?
It's Dr. Duda and RJ Benjamin Changes
the World. Out on the street.
Yeah.
Living.
It was that massive crossover track that the brands wanted it for their TV ad campaigns. It sold hundreds and thousands of units, and
that song's still generating money right now.
Till today, and it's still getting played in clubs and classic sets today.
I played it at a Cassim's Classics the other day.
So yeah, I would say really difficult to just point out one, but that one definitely was massive. And another one that, I'm extremely proud that, came through our stable was the birth of Mikasa, which, a lot of people don't know how it came about, but we used to throw a series of events called La Dolce Vita.
Okay.
And we did a series at the Radisson Blue in Sandton, in the pool area. And Dr. Duda was one of our artists and DJs, so we asked him to play. And Joao, aka J something, he had just come from PE, and we were busy recording a gospel album for Jay. And RJ Benjamin was recording this album with Jay.
So cool.
And so he was in studio recording, and Mo, his brother, used to work for us. So it was a family affair. We invited everyone, and Mo happened to have his trumpet in the car, and Jay was at the event. Dr. Duro was busy DJing.
Always, this is giving me goosebumps. I know.
And Jay was like, do you mind if I jump on? You play some like instrumental records and I'll sing over it and let's just see how it goes. And he was like, absolutely. Like, dude is, the most chilled, easygoing guy. And he's like, absolutely. And Mo was like, I can add an element to this. Let me jump on and add a trumpet to the set, which, I mean, as a DJ, we've always looked at adding a different element to our sets, and whether it's vocalists or a violinist or a percussionist. So this was a combination of all these elements, and it couldn't have been more organic, and having those elements come together.
And he needs to be there.
And it worked so well. There was a beautiful synergy between them. I mean, Duda's, in isolation, was a very successful producer and DJ. So, he had the maturity to deal with those type of elements, and it just blew people's minds. So that very next week, they got into studio, they started to record music, and they started to say, oh, what are we going to call this thing that's going on here? And Mikasa, again, was something that came up very quickly and was agreed as a sentiment to go with as what that outfit was going to be. And I mean, their success story was, pure talent. It was purely organic, and probably one of our biggest success stories as Sockhead.
That's insane.
These Streets and that album again sold, I don't know, 140, 150,000
hard copies.
And I'll tell you the biggest lesson that we learned with Mikasa very quickly is we were touring them like they were DJs. And, you can't do that with a band.
Or a band.
They are. You've got someone that's putting their heart and soul into singing, and they play 5 shows in one night. But that's what we were doing. Oh, I swear. We were like, okay, well, let's go. And it was driven off excitement and enthusiasm for the success and the demand for the guys. And then Jay got sick. And the doctor said that he has a high risk that he's causing permanent damage to his voice. So you can't have this kind of output. So that was a big wake-up call for all of us. And, we had to cancel, I don't know, millions of rands worth of bookings.
Word.
So it was a big lesson. And I think we're grateful for the lesson so early on because, they've never made that mistake again. And they, it's just inspirational to see how till today they can get in the room, they understand each other's roles, and they're still able to churn out fantastic music and probably one of the best performing bands this country's ever seen.
I still get goosebumps whenever I either open or MC for them or play after them. It's still so crazy to watch them. There's nothing like it.
No.
Their fusion and their synergy is just on another level. And the crowds, they can still play tracks from 20 odd years ago and people still go wild.
And they've evolved so much that they bring other music into their sets, but they make it their own.
Yes.
And yeah, it's just, I mean, it's just pure talent. And, anything that they do, I'm rooting for them. And, beyond Mikasa, I've gone on to open businesses with Jay Something, we partners in a restaurant artistry, as you know. So, the relationship that came out of music, it is stemmed into all, different facets of the game. And there's still some exciting stuff to come. So, it all stems from music. And when people ask me what I do, I always start with music because that's where it all started. But it's a beautiful thing because the synergy is there.
I think that was it was so imperative for me to have you as my first guest of introducing people to more than music, because me as a new father, a new husband, a radio presenter, touring artist, and everything in between, there is more to us than just music. We might have got into this, me at the age of 13, you also in your teens, into DJing because that's where our first love is. But the networks that it's opened from being a DJ yourself into going into record label, into clubs, into festivals, and now restaurants, the spider web just keeps growing. And I think the biggest thing for you right now is something I saw on Hot Since 82's Instagram the other day. And I know me and you both have a shared love for him. We were like fanboys for Hot Since 82.
Flat out.
He posted an interview, you might have seen this, and he said, my job is actually a dad, and my hobby is being a DJ, which I loved. It's so true. When you become a dad, it's like, that's my full-time job, and my hobby is being a DJ with twins. How do you balance? And I'm hoping that anyone that's watching this right now is either a new dad or a business owner. Balance DJing, restaurants, festivals, nightclubs, and being a husband and a father to twins. It's a question, man.
It's a very easy answer, and it's about having an incredible wife.
Oof. Matt is sitting watching there right now.
It's it's the easiest thing for me to answer because, she has it so much harder than me in the home front, and she picks up so much of the responsibility. And, like the happiness of my kids is directly correlated to the love and attention that she gives. I mean, I do my part. I bath the boys, get them ready for school. I make them breakfast, take them to sport. We've got our roles, but so Max is allowed, me to carve out the family plan, which is, I provide, I do the work. She looks after the household, and the happiness that it's brought my kids, I can see it in them every single day. That she picks them up from school, she makes them a lunch after school, but it goes so much more beyond that. It's just being present. I'm not all households can afford to do this, but beyond just looking after the household, she supports me in what I need to do, and that is goals. So you ask me, how do I do it? That is how I'm able to do it, literally. And I'm always pushed and motivated to do more because of them. And that's why, back to what I said in the beginning, having kids is just different, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Having a little one, there's a source of inspiration because it's no longer about you, it's about them.
Exactly. I mean, I didn't even need to steer you back into that. You literally hit the nail on the head. That's your inspiration.
Totally. So, yeah, and I feel like I can do anything. I couldn't be happier. I've got so many new exciting things on the horizon, and I can't wait to just get home after a long day's work and just reflect with them, because it's all for them. And I love it. But I'm not done yet. I got a lot more to do.
I don't want to ask you anything from me personally because I've taken so much from you over the years that, and sometimes I believe that I'm Ricardo Da Costa.
Got to shave your hair there, buddy.
Not yet. I found one or two grays here, so when I get too gray, maybe. But for a lot of the people that follow me are in school, some are in matric, some are in their 20s, some are new fathers, some are new husbands and wives. It's just such a vast array of people, and I wanted to know from you if you wanted someone to take something from you today over all these years of you being in the scene, dad, husband, businessman, what would it be?
So many lessons, so many things. I'd start with an obvious one. I'll give you a few, and just things that I live by. Definitely, do something that you love, and that seems basic on a surface level. But if you wake up on a Monday and you're motivated as hell to do what you do, is a clear indicator that you're in the right space. Like money will come. I tell my kids this as well. It's like, if you want to be a trapeze artist, I back you, but you're going to be the best damn trapeze artist that you can be. Like, do what you love. Be obsessed, like I was with music, and it's opened up all the doors that it has for me. Be obsessed with something in the most healthiest way. 2 would be always have your best bottle of wine on your worst day. Now, take that like as a complete flip of the script. Like, everyone wants to have their best bottle of wine, and it's a metaphor for whatever, whether it's a tequila, whatever it is. Like, when you're having the shittest day, just crack open your best bottle of wine, just to balance everything out. I think it's such a powerful statement that I picked up in a book that I read called Unreasonable Hospitality. It just resonated with me, and it's such a powerful thing. And lastly, life is too short to drink bad tequila.
I'm waiting for that one.
Do not
I was waiting
drink
for that one.
bad tequila, kids. It's just life. It's just too short, man. There's too much good tequila out there to spoil your day by drinking really cuck tequila.
And I know you know what you're talking about because I've been to your house. I didn't count that day, but how many bottles do you have, different brands? You don't know either.
I'd say about 300 bottles.
Oh my sack! 300 different bottles.
And most unopened. So we got a lot of work to.
It's kind of rude to say but life's too short to drink bad tequila while you have 300. Kind of unfair for you to say life's too short to drink bad tequila when you have over 300 bottles in your house.
I know it's childish, but
it is childish. So everyone knows
we love it.
Tequila.
I love it. We love it.
But that's about all we have time for today. I gotta head out. I know you've got a family to get to. You've got events to plan. You've got you've got everything. You want to do Ricardo Da Costa.
I've got one or two things going.
Thanks for hanging out with me, bro. I really
appreciate that invitation.
First guest.
Like, let's keep it going, man. What's next? Are we going to the moon together?
Every time I do something new, whether it's owning my own restaurant one day or club, you will always be the first person invited. You'll always be the first guest DJ. I mean, I think if Austin wasn't my brother, you would have been my cruiser's first god.
I'll take it.
You'll take it. I think no offense to Gareth Cliff. We love Gareth, but I think Nicole is still a little bit cross with me that I didn't choose you as our MC because she wanted you as our MC. Have I ever told you that? She wants as our MC.
No, listen, I think you did a much better job.
And I was like, no, I love Rick, and I'm honored that you want him because it'll be like he was everything. Like, you're going to deliver our baby.
Oh, God.
That's...
add to the resume.
I delivered Kyle's child. I'm actually married them. I'm sure she would have accepted that. But yeah, it's always great to have someone like you in South Africa that leads the way in terms of business, parenting, I mean, health. You play golf 7 times a day, so
Literally 7 times a day, Carl. Actually, enjoy my golf.
you always up. You like whenever I'm like, can we do? Oh, sorry, I'm on golf. So yeah, it's
Balance.
with festivals. You've really taken the scene to new heights. Discovered new talents in South Africa. Who knows what's to come next?
The future looks bright. The future looks bright.
We do love you, and yeah, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah,
Big ups to you. All the success to this new content feature.
I'm excited. More than music. Who should be our next guest? Who do you think?
I think a really good guest would be Temba.
You funny, eh? If we can. Where is Temba?
Where is Temba?
Where is he though? How would I get him here? Because I was busy doing official remixes of Calvin Harris. Bro.
He's a busy boy. But I think, he's got a fantastic marketing mind, and I think his talents stem beyond music. He's a good friend, and I think there's a lot of interesting insights that people don't know about Temba, aka
Euphonic, aka President of House in South Africa.
Exactly. So yeah, he'd be great. Yeah, so I think you'd be
So
cool, man.
you'd like to watch an episode on Temba?
I think so. I think
Let's make that happen. Temba, we're calling you out. Wherever you are, get your ass home from Ibiza and then come jump into this car with me. But yeah, Ricardo Da Costa, ladies and gentlemen, thanks you for watching the very first More Than Music podcast, and we'll see you next week.
nice one.